Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about all of our bucket list travel, bucket list cruises and other trips that we always tell ourselves that we're going to take someday. And what I want to talk about really applies to everybody, no matter how young or old you are, no matter where you want to go, no matter where you live. And so I hope that you'll stay with me and add your comments at the bottom about the places that you would like to go and what you're looking forward to. So first of all, I think that all of us know that there are places that we have really wanted to go for a really long time. There's that quote by, I think her name is Judith Thurman, and she says that every dreamer knows that it's entirely possible to be homesick for a place that you have never been. And I think that a lot of us have that feeling in our heart about some places that we just really want to go see and experience. And so as I talk to you about this, I want to use some examples from my life and some things that I wish I would have done differently, and then think about how we are going to do things differently as we move forward. And so if you are enjoying our channel, will you please consider subscribing? We would really love to have you here with us all the time, and it'll really help our channel out. So anyway, my example is that for the longest time, for years and years and years, I have wanted to go to Turkey. And I have traveled over to Italy several times, lots of times actually, and I've been to Greece, but I really wanted to go to Turkey. And I just kept thinking, you know, someday we'll go, someday we'll go. Well, in 2016, I finally got around to booking a trip with my daughter for a cruise that would take us to Turkey. And the thing that I really like about going to some places that in my world are a little bit more exotic is the idea that I could go on a cruise and it would put me in a place where someone takes me there, and that I would kind of have a group to stay with. Whether we hired our own kind of tour guide for the day, but we would know where we were going to sleep and that it was okay, and that it kind of just, the trip would have some structure to it, and rather than just flying there by myself and just being on our own. And so anyway, that's one thing that I really like about cruising. And so we booked this trip, and Ephesus and Istanbul were on the itinerary when we booked it just at the beginning of the summer. And by the time that we went, though, in September, political unrest had made it so that no ships were going to any ports in Turkey for a while, and so we missed that window. And then we just decided to go back to the Mediterranean again in 2017 because we enjoyed it so much, and they still weren't booking any trips to Istanbul. Well, when we were on that 2016 trip, though, we met this really nice couple from Scotland one night at dinner on the ship, and they were telling us about a lot of the cruising that they had done, and they were said that they had been cruising a lot in the 70s and 80s and had gone with their daughter a lot and had a lovely time. And they shared that one of the cruises they had done went to Istanbul, and then it went up through the Bosphorus Strait up into the Black Sea, and then they got to go to ports up in there. And no cruise lines are doing that right now. I just looked before I made this video, and so I just and I looked at it back then, and they weren't either, and doesn't mean they never are, but it just means that for now that's not so accessible as it used to be. And I really learned a lesson with that, in that if you really want to go somewhere, you've got to go somewhere. And if you think, oh, that's too expensive right now, just start looking. You'll be maybe amazed at what you can find about how you can find something that costs maybe a little less, or one of the cruise lines will have a sale, or an airline will have a sale. So if there's somewhere you want to go, start working on it. Because the other thing that goes with that is in 2019, we went to the Mediterranean again, and still Istanbul wasn't on, or in Ephesus weren't on the list of the cruise lines that we felt like we wanted to go on at that time. And so we decided that we would go. We booked it for 2020. Well, it got canceled in 2020, and then it got canceled again in 2021, and so now we're really hopeful for 2022. In fact, we have booked 2 cruises that in that region of the world that go to Mediterranean, in the Mediterranean that go to Turkey, and one of them also is the one that we had canceled that also goes to Israel. So we just decided to book a backup one just in case they cancel that one, in case one will go. And so really think about the places that you want to go and and think about what you can do to get there. The other thing that I wanted to point out is not only do political things change around the world, because when we booked that we thought we were going to go to Israel in 2020, it was very stable there. We wouldn't have been worried about sailing in there at all. And I know that the cruise lines won't take passengers there if it's not safe, so I'm not worried about that. But things are just changing, and so I don't know if by the time the fall of 22 rolls around, when we've got time and can do that, I don't know if it's going to be all right. We'll just have to wait and see. And so for the reason that things can change politically around the world, I think it's a really good idea to go where you want to go. And another thing is I think if we've learned anything with September 11th of 2001 and this pandemic, it's that anything can change in a heartbeat. And so I'm not suggesting that you be unwise with your finances or not taking good care of your family and being where you need to be for them. But I sure have learned that I'm going to try really hard to do everything that I need to do to take care of my responsibilities, but also to think of the things that I really want to see and that I really want to do and make plans to be able to do it, so before things change and you can't go anymore. So as you think about this, I know that a lot of cruise lines now are making they're making cruises available all over the world in 2022. And so just take a look and see what you can see. Or if you don't want to go on a cruise and you want to go backpacking across Europe, you should make your plans and go. It takes a while to plan a trip like that. We've been planning a trip that we are going to fly into the United Kingdom. We're going to fly into London, and we are going to drive all over England and Scotland, and we're going to go to Ireland on that trip. We're just going to have a lovely time. And so we haven't picked our days yet, but we are making plans so that when we can figure out when to go, we'll be ready. And so that's my suggestion to you. Have a notebook or a file on your computer, put your plans in there, and get ready to go so that when it's time to go and you can go, you're ready. So I hope this video has inspired you to think about what you want to do and help you think about ways to get there. If it has helped you at all, will you please give us a thumbs up? We really appreciate you. And like I said, in the comments, will you please leave below some of the places that you want to go, or some of the amazing places that you have been, and some of the things you would hope everyone would know about them, so that we can all think about it together. And I'll be talking to you again really soon. You take really good care. God bless you. Mwah. Love you.